Hey guys, Aaron Wilson here at Arrowhead Stadium, home of the Chiefs, and for tonight, home of the Texans. Texans, who had lost 5 in a row to the Chiefs going back to 2019, the last time they had beaten a Kansas City football team when, ironically, Charles Omenihu, who now plays for the Chiefs, forced a key fumble on Patrick Mahomes, and you had Carlos Hyde running roughshod over the Chiefs defense. Tonight, they win in a different fashion. They win again in a familiar pattern. Defense, defense, defense. They're building a championship quality defense, some defense that is really historically great. Entered tonight only allowing 16.5 points per game and ranking first in yards. And tonight, against the great Patrick Mahomes, the Texans only give up 10 points. And the offense, it was ugly after Steve Spagnuolo, as we told you, would make adjustments, that he would have a strategy, that he would have a counterpunch if this was a boxing match. And he did. Really a master class in out-coaching a rookie offensive coordinator. There's nothing Spags hasn't seen, but I tell you what, the Texans' defense was even better. And Jalen Petrie, what a stick he had. That was a big-time hit. Not surprising, right? Remember the Dallas game last year, another hits that the pride of Stafford High School has had over the years. So you look at his play. Kamar Lassiter, all the guys in the locker room said they knew that he would play. And not only did he play, but he played well. Had me a little concerned there in the warm-up. Saw him dressed out, but he wasn't out there with the ones. I wonder if they were maybe trying to trick the Chiefs a little bit. But he played a big-time football game. Azeez Al-Shire, that interception, absolutely crushing the Chiefs' momentum that they were starting to build. A terrible fourth down decision. Andy Reid said he screwed up. That doesn't happen often that Andy Reid gets out coached. D'Amico Ryans, kudos to D'Amico. D'Amico coached a good football game. Yes, there's a lot to work on. And talking with Titus Howard about this offense and how they aren't really there yet. Offense still needs to do some things. They've got to get better, and they've got time to work on it. There's still another month until the postseason. If the season ended today, the Texans will be in the playoffs. They are 7th now in the wild card standings, and with Daniel Jones of the Colts, I'm very sorry for Daniel. Terrible for him to rupture his Achilles. He's undergoing surgery. He's out for the season, and that could be it for the Colts. They've got a tough schedule, and they could be in for a slide. The Jaguars right now, they're a step ahead in the division, but the Texans have a lot of tiebreakers. They're 7-2 in the conference and 4-1 in the division, and they split the series with the Jaguars. They've got some good tiebreakers. We'll see where this thing ends up. The Texans need to keep winning and not scoreboard watch. They play the Cardinals and the Raiders. They'll be expected to win those games. They blew out the Chargers in the wild card win at NRG Stadium, and then they close out against the Colts, who are obviously depleted, and they'll have Riley Leonard at quarterback. Some things about tonight. Too many penalties on offense, especially the rookie Arion Tertiary, the Kansas City native. It was a tough night. But they didn't let it absolutely crush their hopes. CJ got very cold in the third quarter, and there were times I thought he held the ball too long. There were times I thought there was too much pressure, too many free rushers. And the Texans have got to get better at pass protection and cutting down on these penalties. So for the Texans to take the next step in their development in this evolution of the season, this ever-evolving season that we've been watching so closely for months and months and months, just every move that they make. And tonight, and you can see how cold it is out here, I don't care. I am excited. This was a very fun game to cover, a very interesting game in terms of styles of play. And I think the Texans, they're in business. This is a truly elite defense. And how about Tommy Tagiai? He steps in for Tim Settle Jr., who's out for the season. And he has a sack, and he has a bunch of solo tackles. And I'm going to say this, and I've believed in him for a long time. I know D'Amico Ryans has. He calls him Mr. Consistency. It's a great nickname to have as a football player. You want to be consistent. You're reliable and durable, and that's what Tommy is. He's the strong man. He's the former top recruit at Ohio State. And he looked like it tonight. This was his best football game of his NFL career. And I think getting that kind of play, getting that kind of depth out of him, having a guy on the bench like that can step into the starting lineup and play next to Sheldon Rankins. How about Sheldon Rankins? Hustle play, the pursuit, the way he chased down Patrick Mahomes. Thought that was very impressive. sticking on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, Danielle Hunter. There were some times where he was getting blocked by their third string tackle. Not what you normally expect from him. Some of this too is just how much Patrick Mahomes can buy time, how elusive he is. But, let's be honest. They got the best of him. They intercepted him 3 times. The secondary was lights out. The linebackers were excellent. And yeah, the defensive line, they didn't have a lot of sacks. We thought they would dominate the Chiefs' backup offensive linemen, but they didn't. There was, some plays that were made, but overall, yeah, it wasn't the, stellar. It wasn't like the Bills game, but every game has a different personality. But for the Texans to beat the Chiefs, this is a step in the right direction. This is a big step forward. Some will say this is arguably the biggest or one of the biggest regular season victories in Texans franchise history. I know what that means, that they don't have a lot of big wins, but this is a big win. Remember, the Chiefs have this pedigree. They have won Super Bowls 3 out of the past 6. This was a budding dynasty, and perhaps the Texans close the door on that tonight. The Chiefs could miss the playoffs now. They're now 6-7. The Texans are 8-5, and on a 5-game winning streak. 4 of those wins were by 1 score. Tonight, a 10-point victory, and it could have been even more lopsided if the offense could have done something with these turnovers. They couldn't, and that's a recurring theme. That's something we've seen before from the offense, where they're not clicking, they're not finishing. But a guy that did finish, and he was the GOAT, not the greatest of all time. I mean the GOAT, like the guy that gets blamed. You remember the punch-out against the Rams. Dario Ogunbowale and Landman, not the show, not the TV show. I love the TV show. Landman, the linebacker, punched it out like a peanut punch, like Charles Peanut Tillman. And he felt awful, but he was very accountable. He answered every question. And tonight, he gets the go-ahead game-winning touchdown, so kudos to Dare. Kaimi Fairburn, last time on this field in icy January weather, even colder than tonight, missed an extra point, missed a field goal, and had a field goal blocked. They had a lot of problems on special teams that night. Remember Chris Boyd with throwing the helmet, getting the penalty, shoving Frank Ross in what he thought was a celebration. It just looked bad. Tonight, it was clean. It was good. Nico Collins, be remiss not to talk about Nico. Big play Nico. All those catch and run, all the separation he created. Yeah, they started doubling him. They adjusted. That's what people do. And the Texans, they've got a guy, it's a real go-to guy in Nico. Jaden Higgins, some clutch plays. Dalton Schultz. Woody Marks had some tough sledding, and he ran the ball pretty well. He helped them close out the game. He was in there at the end. He scares the team, I guess, like every week, or the fans. People think he's hurt, and he'll go out of the game, and then he'll get back out there. He's someone that I think, for some reason, he just gets dinged, and then he shakes it off. But good for him. He is a tough cookie, someone that the Texans can count on. And Nick Chubb, I don't know how serious the rib injury is. Obviously, it was serious enough that he didn't come back in the game. So I don't know if he cracked a rib or whatever. But it looks like the Texans got out here relatively healthy. No big injuries. No season-ending ones, unless there's something we're missing. And, yes, they put Jalen Reed on injured reserve. Check the rules. He could return. I don't know if he will return, but he could be back at some point. There's a chance for the playoffs. They got Jalen Mills. Miles Bryant played better tonight than he did in the previous game where they were kind of picking on him. I think overall they can work with the personnel that they have and they can get some things done. So the Texans are a team that may not be a team of destiny, but they're certainly a good football team. They're a team that is a winning team, a team that the Texans fans can be proud of. They've won 5 in a row. They battled back from 0-3, and now here they are knocking on the door potentially of a 3rd consecutive trip to the playoffs, potentially a 3rd here since 2019, back when Carlos Hyde was the starting running back and Charles Omenihu was a Texan, forcing a fumble on Mahomes. What's it like to beat these guys?
Man, it means a lot. Man. We know what type of team KC is. Coming into the building, we know it was going to be an all 4-quarter team, Super Bowl contender team, but it took us to fight all 4 quarters to get the dub, man. So this dub means a lot, man, for the team, for the organization. I'm glad we got the dub.
Your first half, you made some very, very big plays. What was the key to getting open and to making the impact that you did?
Trusting the process, man. Whenever your number's called, go make that play. You know, get open, do what you can. Trust your trainer, trust your God-building abilities, man, and balls in the air, go make a play.
You won, so obviously when you win, it's not a big deal, but
Yes, sir.
the third quarter, they made some adjustments. What were they doing to try to make things a little tougher for you in the second half?
Yeah, they made a couple clouded to my side a couple times, but it's all good. It is what it is. I'm glad everybody else got the opportunity. I'm glad we got the win, you know. But they did a good job. But it's all good. I got to get better at it and continue to get open.
5 in a row. How are you feeling about things and kind of run this team's on as you push for playoffs?
It feels great, man. We're rolling right now. But our mindset, want to know each week, continue to get better and watch this film and get better next week. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Gauge one time.
Right, and guys, next up for the Texans, the Arizona Cardinals, then the Las Vegas Raiders. Both those games are at NRG Stadium. The Texans have some chances to work on some things with the offense, tinker with the playbook, and try to get better and become a more consistent football team. This is not the first time we've seen this movie where they skid in the second half. It happened against the Buffalo Bills. DeMeco Ryans was very unhappy. As he said, they have some things to work on offense, but he's very proud of the overall effort, especially his defensive guys. He's a defensive coach, the architect of top-ranked defenses with the San Francisco 49ers, and now his best defense ever with the Texans. And I'm not too into the nickname thing or whatever. I'll just call the Texans a great defense in every sense of the word. I've covered great defenses before. I covered the Baltimore Ravens with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. I've covered J.J. Watt. I've covered some really great defensive football players. The Texans have some great defensive football players, especially Will Anderson Jr. and Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley Jr. There's a lot of quality on this defense. So Texans head back now to Texas, riding a 5-game winning streak and looking for more. And who knows, maybe they end this season on a 9-game winning streak. It is something that they're capable of. I don't think that they have to take a back seat to the Chargers, and certainly not the Colts after what happened, the unfortunate tear. And I got to think that that had a lot to do with the other injury that Daniel Jones was already dealing with, the cracked fibula, and now a long rehab awaits Daniel Jones. I think they'll still want to do a contract for him because he played some great football, and the Colts have a lot to be proud of when they look at their quarterback and the type of football player and person he is. That said, the Texans also have a lot to celebrate, and they're going to have some downtime in the morning, and then we're going to talk with DeMeco Ryans, programming notes. Practice resumes on Wednesday, then we have Thursday, we have Friday, and then this home football game. And yeah, there's going to be lots of talk all week. Will they take them lightly? I don't think they'll take anyone lightly. I don't think the Texans have any reason to be cocky about their success. The Texans are a good football team. They're not a great football team yet. They're a great defense, but they're not a great football team. And I say that because, being honest about the quality, the inconsistency of the offense, but guess what? There are no style points in football. All it counts is what the win and loss column says. It says the Texans are winners, 8-5, 5-game winning streak, and on the road, perhaps to the playoffs, and we'll see. As Tony Dungy told me before the game, he doesn't think the Texans are a team a lot of people would want to play, and he is very impressed with DeMeco Ryans, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter, and a lot of things that the Texans are right. Guess what? He knows a lot about it. He's been a Super Bowl winner. He coached Peyton Manning. He coached some great defensive football players, and he was here tonight. And interesting conversation. Please check it out. It is on the channel. Guys, I'm going to wrap. Please watch, like, subscribe, hit the hype button, boost the channel. Please help me out with that. The algorithm is looking for that kind of engagement. I'm also on Twitter and X, Aaron Wilson_NFL. I was on television tonight at KPRC2 and regularly appear there with Nick Mantis and Randy McElvoy. And of course, I'm on Instagram, Aaron Wilson7128. Guys, that's it. Good night. I'm going to fly home. So for you guys to have this kind of defensive effort collectively against Patrick Mahomes, how's this feel?
I feel good. I mean, especially coming here and get a win. The past 2 years, they didn't beat us, what, twice, I think?
And
so
five in a row going back to 2019.
So coming here and get this win, it just means a lot.
Mr. Aaron, can I ask a question?
Of course. Kamari, the stage is yours. This is Kamari Lassiter.
Number 2, Deuce, Hawk, CB, whatever you want to be called. How's it feel to be the best in the world?
It feels good. When I look to my left and my right, I see number 5, I see number 4, I see 24. They just motivate me every day. Like, they really the best in the world. I tell them that every day. They all Hall of Famers, APs. They get the ball. I go on all day, but I ain't gonna go on all day.
How about the hit by number 5?
Oh, 5 was out there. He was spinning today. He was spinning today. 5 the best.
And you knew that he was going to play. Man, next to you, Kamari.
He took a vet week. He took a little vet week. We know he took a vet week. We knew he was going to play. Y'all thought he wasn't going to play, but we knew.
Kalen, with the way that you all, as physical as you all are, does that kind of intimidate some of the wide receivers as far as, coming across the middle?
Shit, it better the way 5 was hitting today. boy, that boy coming out there, hey, he ain't playing around.
Winning this way, you guys are now in a roll. You're 5 wins in a row. What's next for you guys? Just try to keep this thing rolling.
Keep stacking. That's all we got to do. Keep stacking, keep playing our game. Go out there and, keep playing Houston ball.
Kalen, how were you all?
I think the biggest thing was just owning the plan, just executing to the best of our ability and just, taking the ball. We got 3 turnovers. That's always the minimum for us, so it was good to go out there and take the ball.
Jalen, the tackle
physical presence tonight, man. How important was that to kind of make that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's the nature of this defense. From top to bottom, left to right, we all hit. We all run and hit. So, I just had a good opportunity to do that today, and like I said, I executed. So really thankful for that moment, and thankful for just to be out there with my teammates.
Jalen, did that feel like a tone setter? Sometimes a hit like that can turn a game.
I don't know. It was a lot of tone setters. We had Kamari pick, which was very pivotal. We had a lot of big hits in the run game. People probably were sleeping on. And then, at the end, we had that interception by Aziz, which was very pivotal. So, and then a little tip, shout out to Sting. If y'all go back and look at the clip, he tried to throw it to Sting guy. You know what happens when you try to do that. So then he tried to come back to my guy and got
Turn around, flip, on the ball.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
Chandler, what's it like to be a part of this elite defense, and what do you think defines this defense? What's this defense all about?
I'm just really grateful, to be a part of this defense. There's a lot of good players that motivate me day in and day out to, just become a better player. And I think that's the biggest thing. We all motivate each other, and it's a special group.
Speaking of motivation,
Titus Howard in a winning Texans locker room, 5 in a row. What do you feel like this team is doing right now as far as making this push for the playoffs and the momentum you're building?
We're just finding ways to finish games. Defense has been playing phenomenal, keeping us in the games, and in the game we just finding ways to stay in the game and win and close out. That's the biggest thing for us, something we struggled with early on in the season that we've been able to do the past couple of weeks.
They made some adjustments in the second half. You guys kind of had to weather a storm there. What were they doing to try to create pressure? It felt like third quarter was tougher.
Oh yeah, they just came out and changed their game plan. Up, blitzing back more, giving us looks that they didn't really do the first half. So kudos to the coordinator, the guys that made adjustment. We just gotta be able to adjust quicker as an offense and be able to, sustain drives longer.
Is it motivating because obviously the win is, you're gonna come home happy, all that good stuff, but you guys know that you can play better football?
Yeah, it's definitely motivating to be able to play better. But a win to be able to come in KC, a place we haven't won since 2019, to be able to come in and get a hard-fought win like that, that's amazing. So we're looking forward to the rest of the season. Just keep it going.
I think you and Kaimi might be the last guys left. Am I wrong?
Yep, that's true.
From the day, and I remember this, I was here. Charles Omen, who now plays with the Chiefs, he forced a fumble, and Carlos Hyde, who I think is retired now, ran for a bunch of yards.
Yep.
And now, full circle, you win again.
Full circle, because I got hurt that game.
You did?
Yeah, I went out with an injury that game, so it feels good to be able to come here and get a win, a big win like we got today.
And they are the Chiefs, and they're winners of 3 of the past 6 Super Bowls, so it's a signature type of victory.
Yeah, it's a championship organization, championship team. They fought hard to the end, so I'm just happy that we just came out with a dub. So we just got to watch the film, keep building, and keep getting better every week.
Keep rolling, right?
Yes, sir.
Critical downs, and that was one of the biggest in the game so far. So that was when we took the heart, and that's how the outcome came for that 4th down.
Tommy sacking Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks to play in this league. What did that mean to you, and just to have the overall defensive performance that you had stepping into the starting lineup?
You know, I just put all praise to God and the coaches and guys around me. You know, it's a collective effort. It's never just one guy. And, you know, we rush as one, 4 equals 1, and that showed tonight.
What's it like to be a part of this defense defense that is rightfully called elite?
I love it. I mean, every guy in here, man, they truly love to work and try to get better each and every day. So that's what, and I think that's just a testament to how this group moves and how we put it on tape each week.
I mean, what's the mentality of this defense? It seems like you guys are never satisfied. There's so many people who can make plays. Just the mentality that you take into it.
Just a swarm, the big swarm, man, relentless. That's what we are, man. We try to leave no food on the table for anybody. We try to make all the plays we can, and everyone's going after it. And that's why I think you see what we did tonight.
And how good does it feel leaving here at 8-5 in really good shape heading down the stretch?
You know, it's big. We take it 1 week at a time. We got another game next week, and so we try to go 1-0 each week.
Tommy, you're the first Houston team to beat them since 2019, and you were part of the team last year that lost them twice. What does it mean to beat Kansas City? Is it a little extra sweet?
You know, maybe a little bit, but I mean, we take each game serious. You know, like I just said before, we try to go 1-0 every week. So every big game's the next game. So we're on to the next week. You know, this one was fun. We'll celebrate it tonight, and then we'll go on to next week.
Yep, thank you.